The files are out, and the internet did exactly what the internet does. It found the words Golden Dawn, it found Thelema, it found Aleister Crowley, and it built a story out of them that is almost perfectly wrong. Not because the story's too dark, because it's too small. The Golden Dawn is not a power grab tool. It is not a secret handshake society. It's a technology, and what that technology actually does is what nobody on either side of this conversation has bothered to explain until now. Here's the issue with almost every conversation you'll read about the Golden Dawn this week. The people defending it are mostly talking about history. The people attacking it are mostly talking about vibes. Neither group is talking about the mechanism. The mechanism is the only thing that matters. The Golden Dawn system is built on a single foundational premise. Human consciousness is not fixed. It's a structure, and like any structure, it can be engineered. The entire system, every grade, every ritual, every ceremony, is an engineering protocol. The question worth asking is, what exactly is it engineering toward? The system is structured on the Qabalah, specifically on the Tree of Life. 10 Sephiroth, 10 stations of consciousness. Each one represents a different mode of being, a different level of the operating system. The grades: Neophyte, Zelator, Theoricus, Practicus, Philosophus. These are what you could call the user interface grades. At this level, you're being rebuilt. The rituals in the grades are calibration protocols. The Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, the Middle Pillar, the Qabalistic Cross, the Supreme Invoking Ritual of the Hexagram. Each one is doing something precise to the subtle architecture of the practitioner. The astral body, the mental body, the etheric field. These are functional components of a system, and the grade work teaches you how to work with them before you have any business working with anything else. Think of it this way. You wouldn't sit down in front of a complex piece of machinery and start operating it before someone explained what the controls do. The grades explain what the controls do, and then the real work begins. Then in the portal grade, the target becomes the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel, the higher self, the divine intelligence that has been transmitting on a frequency. The beginning grades build the antenna, and the final grade turns it on. This is the real purpose of the system, not power over others, power over the self, which is considerably harder. The Epstein files are interesting in the way a funhouse mirror is interesting. There's a recognizable shape in there, but the proportions are off. The people who enter systems like the Golden Dawn seeking power over others are using a particle accelerator to make toast. They have fundamentally misread the machine. The system doesn't scale that way. What it does is ruthlessly expose every self-deception the practitioner is carrying. Every attachment, every illusion, every story told about why the work isn't working. This is why many initiates don't talk about their work while it's in progress. It's best not to talk about the pie while it's being baked. The Golden Dawn Magic and Qabalah course is built on exactly this framework, the actual operating system, grade by grade, ritual by ritual, from Neophyte through Portal. If the system described in this video is the one you've been looking for, the link is below. The course is open. The files didn't reveal a secret society. They revealed how few people understand what a secret society actually is. The work is real. The system works. Keep going.